Hi, this is James Scott with Board on the Bayou. In this episode, I'm going to do a little how-to start and the basics of how to do the Enigma box. This is pretty much spoiler-free. I'm not going to give any... I'm going to just show you the first one. I'm not going to actually do the puzzles, but I'm going to show you how to at least get them started and some of the basic concepts. And hopefully this will help a lot of the people that are having trouble get through and start, because there's a lot of stuff here and it's hard to figure out what exactly to do. Obviously, you're going to need your Learn to Play, which you read through first the best you can. Don't worry about it. It is very overwhelming. A lot of it you're not going to understand. Your Arcanum book, your Passport book, and this should say number 2, Start Adventure Here, because this is your book on you're doing your adventures. After you read through the book, you'll starting here, and you'll come and be Venice level 1. And you'll start here, and it'll give you a little background. Each one will have this, and then I'll have the symbol, the blue star. So level 1 Venice is the blue star. So you go through all your packs, all your folders, go through everything except for your... hopefully you separate your cards. There's 2 types of cards. There's these clue cards, and then there's some of the cards actually used for some puzzles. So look at all, you can see all the ones with a town with a symbol up here. Those are your clue cards. Set those aside. Go through all your booklets and get everything that has the blue star on it. Or if you also notice, because some of them are a little bit harder to see, when you go through here, it'll tell you the tools you need, and you get a little picture of, I'm going to need this X-ray. Now this here shows you that it has this little 360 on it. That means it's in the virtual reality app. So you can grab all these items. So you're going to need all these items. See, they got the little blue star. Now a lot of it's 2-sided, so make sure you look over on both sides. Like this one ain't, but this one is. So you're going to need this side. And probably the most important part that you'll use throughout the whole game, you're going to need your map. And with using your map, you're also going to need your bag of your figurines. So you're going to need your different little figurines, your translator or conversion table. There's no symbols on it, so that one takes a little bit to figure out. And for each of your little figurine, they all have a template with their name on it. You got the one for the sun, the Sphinx, the Mermaid, and Anubis. This is some of the concepts of some of the hardest ones for me to get after the finally figuring out the little light bulb come on. What you're going to do is in here is going to tell you for LA1, you need the stained glass and this book. So you grab your book. Oh, and by the way, it may seem obvious to some, but not to others. It wasn't to me at first. This is and, not plus. So you need this and that. You need these and that. You don't add them all together. Now, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But in most cases, so in here it says there. So you open this up, and in here, so you got the blue stars. Oops, sorry. You got the blue stars. Here's for LO2. Here's LA1. And it tells you the stained glass in the app, the 360 app, the virtual reality app. And here helps, you're going to need that for part of it to solve it. And when you use the 3D, you go in the virtual reality app and you try to solve that puzzle to get the answer for LA1. Now you're asking, what in the world is LA1? Well, you keep going through. We'll get back to that. This is what you're going to do for pretty much every puzzle. You're looking for 10 clues. LA1, LA2, LA3. So you got this, you're going to be your latitude. You're going to be different numbers and then a letter. And then for longitude, LO, LO2, LO3, LO4, which is going to be a letter. And then keywords. And you're going to be doing this for all the different puzzles. So once you solve LA1, you put that in here. And if you notice, it's kind of hard to see. Let's see, yeah. The little dotted lines will show you they're kind of grouped together. So all these will be kind of all together. Once you solve those, you go on your app and you put in all the answers. You have to have all 10 answers put in the app. Now, the app will tell you which ones are right, which ones is wrong, thankfully. So a couple of them, if you're curious if you got it right, I guess you could just put, a false one in there just to see if that current one. But this is your guide. What I did is I use a piece of paper and pencil and I write it down because you will change your answer. I would be really surprised if you got all of these right the first time every time. So I use a pen and paper and I just write down basically like in this order. Now what you're going to end up having to do also too, like I said, it shows you an LO1 and then you come across. This is going to be for LO2, keyword 1. Now, the next section, which is the one that takes a little bit to start trying to figure out, is these things. Now, what these things these are using your miniatures and your map. And again, I'm not going to spoil this, but I'm going to just show you the basic concept on how some of these different miniatures work. In the instructions towards the back, They explain them, but like I said, it is a little confusing until you get that little light bulb moment. So hopefully this might help you out. And all of them, now let's go. I guess we'll go to this one, and we'll go back here to one of theirs so that we don't think they got some spoiler-free area here. And okay. What it'll do on them, they will have what miniature to use and then 2 locations. So you take that guy's miniature and his template. And what you're going to do is on your templates, hopefully this will show up. See, it has the X on one side and then the O on the other side. Some of them are a little bit easier. So you got your X. Oops. Sorry, I'm doing this backwards and side. And then, oh, wait, here we go. So here's your O. And your X down here. And what you're going to want to do is X is going to go on the town of that is on the X on the thing, and the O goes on the other town. So, such as Anubis in this example, they say Edinburgh and good. So you got to go on here and put Edinburgh on the one. And then the other part is kind of the whole puzzle of it. And I'm purposely going to go to a different town just so we don't accidentally give a spoiler. I don't know if this might be one. And you will notice they will fall around. So, all right, let's say it's these 2 towns. Then it's going to tell you, on his case, he will tell you to stand him on a certain symbol and what direction to face. So in this case, let's say they said to stand him on circle facing east. So if you look on them, they have north, south, east, west. Not direction on the map, but a direction on here. So I'll put them on this symbol facing east. Sorry, I'm trying to angle this. And you look through the hole, or basically look in his direction, and they'll ask you a question. Is he looking at the shark? And you look through here, and is there a shark this way? No, shark's down here. Well, on here, they go yes and no. If it's yes, you do nature. If it's no, you do location. And on these other strips for Anubis, has at the top, let's see if I can, location, people, and nature. And then what you do is you take this, let's say this is the one they came up with, and you put it next to it, or they say you can put it, you can put it underneath, and you look at that symbol. You know, he was on this one. Let's see if we can do this. He was on this symbol, and this one lines up. So this symbol, no, would be Oasis. But if your answer was yes, and you had to grab locations, then the answer would be Siberia, because that location he was standing on lined up with the no strip. So I hope I explained that the best in a way that's kind of understanding. So you're gonna line these two dots up with the two spots they tell you. Put them on the symbol they say, and face them in the direction. Answer the yes no, which will tell you what strip to lay down next to it. And you whichever one is next to the symbol that you had him placed on, that's the answer. And that's usually going to be one of your keywords. So, and then you just write that down as one of your keywords. This one, yeah, this guy's a little harder. The sun, same thing. I know what I'm going to do. Haha. The same thing, your X and your O, put them on your two locations. Now, on the sun guy, he'll have an arrow. See if I can get a good picture of him. He'll have an arrow at the bottom. And he'll also have these little symbols. They are all different. I know you're going to need a little magnifying glass, or use the little glass that came with it, because you'll notice there's a triangle, but there's also a triangle, I don't know if you could pick that out, with a line through it. Those are two totally different symbols. And what the clue is going to tell you is face that symbol. So let's say I had the triangle with the line through it at 90 degrees. So after you would line this up, say we had it at this town and this town, and here, they don't line up, but they'll tell you to put that symbol at 315. So you put that at 315, and then it'll ask, is he facing Rio de Janeiro? Well, yes, he is. And then you go along further along that. So that one's usually just another one. So like I said, the hardest part is looking at these little symbols and recognizing that there is 4 different ones, and that when they ask you, they usually tell you to put that symbol in the direction. And on this little thing has little compass points, and that's what you line them up with, and then see which way he's facing. Later on, you'll also notice the symbols. You may use this one to tell you what symbol to put Anubis on, and etc. But that's just the basics of it, because there's actually multiples on these. The Sphinx is a pretty simple one. Again, X and O on 2 different locations, and then they're going to ask you, you put the Sphinx on it, and they'll ask you a question or a clue. Is it yes or is it no? Now, and then again, it'll have these little symbols. Most of those symbols are for this little guy, which you're going to, personally right now, I really hate this thing. He has all these different little symbols on it. And the reason why I say I hate it is because the square, if you kind of turn it to the side, is almost a diamond, which this is actually the diamond. This is the circle. So I mean, there's some of these symbols are kind of close depending on which way you have them kind of orientated. He works a similar way, and they're gonna, after you get all your clues from a lot of your other pieces, like on the Sphinx, it's gonna tell you, yes, triangle. So you go on here, here's the triangle. So you're going to be using the triangle on this clue. So you'll have this here to here, have the triangle here, and then they'll tell you, let's see, a triangle on here, and then they'll tell you it's a Edinburgh. And now you have this guy orientated in the position, and then they'll probably ask you, is he between 10 and 20? Then this is the answer. If he's between 0 and 10, he's this answer. So you look at where he's at. This is spoiler free. This is just a random location I'm picking. Different times you may have him put here and here, and then they'll do the same thing. But these actually, in the book, they'll show you, after you go through the basics on these, they will tell you. There you go. Like, they'll show you how to use the Sphinx. They'll show you how to use the octopus. But when you go further back, they'll tell you how to use the Sphinx octopus combo, because then there's a combination on them. So, and like I said, this case here, you have to put the 0, his arm over this, and his other symbol on which way it answered, yes or no. There's a lot of different ways these will multiple of these symbols, and again, it all goes on this map. So that, like I said, this is going to use this thing all the time. So you're probably going to end up being like me and want to find some way to get this thing laid flat. There's also the Mermaid. You won't be using this one till later, but this is one where she's going to be sitting down in the grid, and her arms, or you put her in certain spots, and you're going to get your clue here. Also, too, on a lot of these, they'll have a conversion. So what you may end up doing is getting a symbol, and let's say we ended up getting this square. And so you look across, and it converts to this word, or maybe a number and converts to this symbol. So this is a way to convert it. So you may get a location, and it doesn't make sense, or a word. Well, actually, it translates to 25 for your clue, or maybe a moon, that you need a moon for something else, or you use the moon to get your keyword. There's different ways of using this. So, but this map and keyboard are two things that you will use all the time. And like I said, along with the, oh, darn, my mermaid tail broke. Along with the different little guys. Now on these clues, if you're looking for hints and all that, they do have these clues, and they'll show you in this corner the little star, Venice star, for it. But I will tell you, you don't have to worry about these ruining the game for you if you need a little help, because, to be honest with you, these are they are. Once they give you the thing, like, you need to find the number. Well, I know that. How? They're not really, most of them aren't really too giving on the clues. That's why I think some people are asking for kind of more better hints online. That's they're supposed to be doing. So, because like I said, some of these are pretty obvious. Yes, I do know that, but so like I said, that should help you get through the first one, and you probably be like most of us and these, especially this first one, you're gonna end up guessing half of these clues, and hopefully later when they come out with the little spoilers, we'll be able to find out exactly what we're doing wrong. So if you have any more questions, comments, just put it below, and I'll try to get back to you as best I can and try to keep it spoiler free. I am slowly going through this. I'm not rushing through it. I do have the deluxe version, so with this much money, I want to make sure I take my time and I enjoy the puzzles. So far, I've been really loving it. And I think that's pretty much about it. So this is James Scott with Board on the Bayou. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe below. Thank you.